Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Today we will design a choker with GGC treasure bag, the sunrise collection. So the thing is, you can do it with any beads, but here we have this beautiful 3 millimeter pearl beads, the 6 by 5 or 6 by 4, 6 uh, by 4 faceted crystal beads, and there's like hematite kind of a bead, but it is not hematite, it's lightweight, and it's rose gold kind of the metallic coating is there. So I'm using this one and all three strands, and I'm also using my 6 seed beads from my stash in this rose gold color. This has, I think, a silver lining or rose gold lining, something like that. 6 seed beads. So I'm planning to make this choker, but let me see if it works out. See how I figured this pattern out. So what I did was I took 2 strands of bead stringing wire. It is a 7 strand bead stringing wire. I know the color is different, but that's okay because I want this darker color uh, for the strand which has a crystal beads, because if it is exposed I'm okay with the color combination. So that's the reason why I took that. I had only one spool of that, so that's why I'm using that gold color again. So what I did was, in one strand I'm going to string just, I will start from the start. I went through this a couple of times and I think I figured out a pattern. So this is the 2 strands. I put a bead stopper right next to it because I want that kind of you know that kind of stiffness to my project. That's why I added 5 of the 6 by 4 seed beads and 5 of the metallic bead. And then what I'm gonna do is, so there is 2 strands, so I'm gonna add a metallic bead at the end. Okay, and this, and I'm taking the 2 strands together and I'm gonna add a 6 seed bead. Okay, don't kink your wire. So this is what it is so far. So I'll take this, and there is one stuck here. So actually it's better to have a bead stopper right there, so that you will understand the technique. It's okay if you want to add more, so we can then separate. Actually I need to add one more of the metallic bead. So I want this to come in like a oval kind of a format. So as I go in with the design, you guys will understand exactly what I mean by that. So adding 6 of the metallic beads, I think more is needed, but that's okay, we can add it later. And I don't think so 5 is needed, 4 is what is needed. Then take this color. It's good that I have 2 different colors, so I can make sure that I exactly add the crystal beads in the darker bead stringing wire rather than the gold color. Okay, take 4 of the crystal, 1 of the elongated bead, the metallic bead, and 1 more at the end. So that's with 1 strand. I alternated it, right? So it goes like this. Okay, so then over here, instead of adding the metallic color, I'm going to add the pearl bead. So I'm alternating that as well. Okay, so the number of beads depends upon how long you want the waves to be, or the curls to be, or the DNA pattern. That's what it just looks, I mean, it goes like a twisted one, right? So that's why. So if you add it like that, I don't want the distance, I don't want it to be exactly the same. I want the thinner bead strand to be slightly more than the crystal strand. It's just an experiment. I hope that it will look exactly what I imagined in my head. Okay, I'm not so sure, but if I do achieve that, I would be happy. And then take the 2 strands, add a 6 seed bead. First I did with crystal itself, it didn't work out properly, so I'm doing it with the seed bead. See, this is what I want. Okay, this is exactly what I want. I want this to go maybe one. If I take one off, okay, this is how it will be. If I add one, this is how it is. So then again I'm gonna add the same beads. Four of the crystal is more than enough. The crystal is having a nice and big hole, which made me think of macrame or knot at first, but then I thought I did enough of that necklace, so that bead stringing. And this one is pretty easy once you figure out what you want. So 6 of this. So if I add 6 and add a seed bead, it just looks very sloppy. So I'm adding 7 and I'm adding my seed bead on both the strands, and then I'm checking if it looks good. So you can do this as a bracelet as well. That will look really nice, as you guys can see, but a necklace will also look pretty. And then again the same pattern. I'll follow the same pattern and I'll come and show you guys how it looks once we are done. And then if we just, I mean, it's okay for me to expose the wire. If it is not okay for you, go ahead and add seed beads. 11 seed beads will work at the start and the end, but still there will be a slight exposure of wire in this design, so make sure you're okay with it. If not, this pattern is a little difficult to make, and then you can, like, if that's the case, then you can use metallic big hole beads for instead of the 6 seed beads. That way you can cut the slack a little bit more, but since it's a choker, you can achieve a tighter version that will not expose the wire. Hey there, welcome back. So I finished stringing these, and then I took this magnetic clasp from my stash. So I feel that the magnetic clasp needs to be really strong in case of a bracelet or a necklace. What I have felt personally, that the small ones that I got, not this one but some other round ones that I have been using in my videos that you have seen already, the bracelet actually, because it's magnetic, when it touches something which can hold that, so it just comes off, and you need to be careful. But if it is a very strong magnetic clasp, then it stays. So I purchased this from I think BB Craft, if I'm not wrong, a while ago, or I don't know where exactly I got this from, or Bargain Beat Box, I have no idea. But there was 5, and so I don't have a rose gold uh, I mean magnetic clasp. If I had, then I would have used that. But this one is actually the silver one. I also have the gold one, but I didn't like the look of the gold one with my rose gold, so I'm using the silver one. I want this to be a subtle one, so I want the necklace to be the focal. So that's what I'm gonna do. I have some crimp tubes in my stash, and then there is 2 strands that we are going to crimp with. So the necklace measures about, say, let me see, about, say, 16 inches, because it's going to be a choker. So that's why I don't want it to see how it gets stuck to my bead stopper. So you need to be careful about that. So I'm going to use only 16 inches. I'm not going to make it big. So I'm going to take this part, see how this goes. Okay, this is how it goes. So I'm going to take these. I'm going to cut this. Okay, take my crimp tube. So I'm going to use slightly a bigger crimp so that all 4 cords can go through. So I have 2 different strands. I have a total mismatch in the metals here, which is a good thing. So I put the bead in, crimp tube in, and then one side of the magnetic clasp. You don't have to separate it, you can just have it right there. And doing this part should not be difficult. Let me see. I'm gonna do it once more. So take these 2 strands together, put them through this. Okay, for some reason it just comes pulling out. Maybe the crimp tube is big. I'm thinking I will add one more just in case. So one more crimp, because this is not the beadlon crimp, so I just feel a little bit paranoid to use just one. And also we are using the magnetic clasp, so it needs to be really strong. So 2 of that, and then I go back through that. See, the size also differs from here to here. Trying to squeeze everything in here. You can do one at a time too if you are finding it difficult to do it. There we go. So now pull that. Make sure the loops are on the same size and height. Right. It's getting twisted here. Make sure it's not. So I'm good with the loop right here, the size of the loop. Go ahead and crimp both the beads, and then take your wire cutters and snip off this excess wire as close to the crimp tube as possible. There we go. Just now that's done. I know there's a little bit of a tail, but I think our 6/0 can fit that. See how nicely it fits. I really like the way this side has been done. It's finished now, so I'm just going to move all my beads this side so that we can finish the other side. Take all these down. Okay, and then I'm gonna cut my wire now so that there we go. So that's when I take my wire off. I have a long tail, as you guys can see, more than 2 inches or so. I need it because I feel that these ones are slipping a lot, so that's the reason I did that. Pull everything down. I want this to be stiff. If it is a choker, just imagine this is a choker, right? So I want these beads to be pushed really tight. Normally we keep it in a U format. We leave a little bit of a gap so that it is not stiff. But if you want the choker to be nice and ready, it needs to be stiff. So then only it will have this kind of U format plus see, there is a gap. So I would like to put my bead stopper right here and work the slack off. Okay, as close to the beads as possible. See, there is a little bit of a slack here, right? Slack there. Now can you see how nicely it comes? So I want this to be really nice and tight. Okay, now that I have cut the slack off, it looks very pretty. I really like it. And over this side, what I did was, okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 3 6 7. So to take this, need to hold on to this, okay, just like that. So make sure it's nice and stiff. So I will put this one more time. Then take my crimp tubes. I think I'll go with these two. See, there is a small kind of a protruding thing there, which kind of pokes when it gets squished. So I took that off. See, there is no slack, I guess, as much as we can. Just try and push. So it's not done yet. Add the crimp tubes in on both the beads. I'm adding 2. It's just because I want it to be secure. That's the reason why. And then take this and feed it through both the wires. Make sure there is no slack right here, as you can see. Now take this, and this is the way it comes. Make sure that you do that in the same direction and you're not twisting the necklace. Take it. It helps if you have a little bit more beading wire at your disposal, so it's easy to do all of this. Take your pliers and make sure the loops are same, and then pull this. I'm pulling the beads and I'm also individually reducing the gap. I just want to make sure everything is proper here. Somehow we just need a little bit of gap, just like that. I don't want this to be as close as possible, so I'm just gonna move this towards. Okay, as best as you can, and then go ahead and crimp both the beads. Not trying to put it through the beads or so. I'm just gonna snip off the excess. So here we go, our choker is done and ready. Such an easy one, very pretty, with GGC Treasure Bag, the Sunrise collection. So I have added a seed bead here, which I forgot at this point, but that's okay. I'm done with the thing. I'm not going to do it again, but I'm planning to give this to my daughter, so it's fine. But if I'm presenting it to somebody, I will take this off and then redo this. See, I have added a seed bead right here, and I didn't add that seed bead at that point at this end. Nevertheless, I really like the way this necklace turned out to be. So let me see if it can be a bracelet as well. Maybe not to my hands because it's getting tighter, but I think my daughters can pull it off. Yeah, for me it's a little tight. Actually, it's not. It's okay. I mean, yes, little tight. If only I would have added the seed beads, it would have given that extra little space. But this looks nice as well. I hope you guys like this tutorial. If you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification. I do upload videos couple of times a week. Thanks so much for watching. This is the end product. We use the pearl beads, the metallic beads, and the roundels for this project. We interconnected these two strands with the 6 or seed beads, and then we finished it off with crimp tubes. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye bye.